And I am going to be reading on Lil Peep. I will be using the Adventurer's Tarot, the Empress deck. Okay. And it's a little bit different. It says victory here, defeat on the flip side of the box. Okay. It's a fairly, this is a, got a lot of cards. More than your, I think more than your typical tarot. For some reason. It certainly feels that way. Perhaps it's just the thicker cardstock. Beautiful boxing. Very quickly. So this is the Adventurer's Tarot, the Empress deck, if you're interested. I might have to pause here and there because they do use some different systems of, like, a slightly different reference. Plants, Ranger, but anyway, so we're going to use this. I was just feeling like this was the deck he wanted me to use. Lil Peep, that's who I'm reading on. So I'm going to try and dial in to him and see if he's willing to participate. And I can start off with the fact that his birthday is November 1st. And let's see here, just want to bring up the right one I was looking at. So Lil Peep had his sun in Scorpio. His birthday was November 1st, 1996. It has the accuracy of the 9 a.m. is in question. But he was born in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It would indicate, looking at what they've come up with his chart, that his moon would be in Cancer. So his sun would be in Scorpio. His moon is in Cancer. His ascendant is Sagittarius. His midheaven is Virgo. His Chinese astrology is the fire rat, and his birth path was number 1. So that's just a little something to know. I'm going to check. His Mars looks like it was also in it's in Leo. Okay. And it looks like his Saturn was in retrograde Aries. I have the same. Okay. So those are some basic details on Lil Peep. I'm going to shuffle this deck. I hope it doesn't slide all over the place. This deck has a matte finish, but the cardstock is pretty thick and thick. So I'm going to piecemeal shuffle. And just dial into Lil Peep. Okay. I ask my spiritual mentors to help me to contact the spirit of Lil Peep and ask him if he would be willing to share through the use of my cards what he might like to convey to those of you that are watching. Okay. The companion. And if you're new to my channel, I read in pairs. And usually at least 3 lines of pairs, but sometimes 4. This is the 6 of adventures, adversaries. So the first 2 cards he gets are the companion and the 6 of adversaries. This is his first line. Here he gets the 2 of elementals. And the 4 of Fae. Hello, today is the 16th, right? Yeah, of February 2021, and I am going to film my reading now on Lil Peep. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend an invitation, and with the question of if there's anything, what does he want to share, if he wants to share anything. For those who would see this video, what does he want to share? And so I'm asking my spiritual mentors to reach out to him and to see if he's willing, and if he is, that he feel free to use the cards to convey that which he wishes to. And I am just an interpreter. So looking at Lil Peep. Now, to tell you the truth, I know very, very little about him. I haven't listened to his music. I listen to a wide variety of music, by the way, and I just am not familiar with his music. One of my adult children asked me to read on him, and I've seen that other people have asked also. So I'm going to read on Lil Peep. His birthday was November 1st. He was born in 1996 in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And sadly, he passed away at the age of 21, I believe. It was an accidental overdose. He was, it sounds like, buying Valium off the street, and what the problem is with that is that it is often cut, as so many street drugs are, with fentanyl now. And it ends up shutting down people's respiratory and, killing them. Fentanyl is being cut into these street drugs. So that is according to his site, or the Wiki site of what killed him. Okay. Just want to split this deck again, make sure I get it shuffled up really well. Okay. Okay. Six of Pentacles. Interestingly enough, the depiction on this card is that of an entertainer, is that of someone in a band, someone up at a microphone. This deck, by the way, is a collector's deck. It's the Gothmancy Divination and Darkness deck. Okay. And the Ten of Cups. Here we have the party scene. He needed, well, this is definitely that he needed to balance his excess. Wheel of Fortune. And the Queen of Pentacles. So it shows that he needed some help, outside help, like an intervention. Because it was out of his control. And I think the Wheel of Fortune is things catching up to you. that you've done, that it eventually catches up to you. I also feel like this is or was a karmic situation with regard to the excess, and I feel like being an entertainer of some sort. I feel like his life as Lil Peep wasn't the only time that he's been an entertainer. I do believe in past lives, and I believe with that Six of Pentacles depicting a band, and the fact that it is also has the scales, and you're dealing with giving and receiving. I'm getting that he had a lot of people in his environment that were giving him drugs, doing them with him. And I just feel like it caught up with his body. The Queen of Pentacles there, I am not sure if this is perhaps a significant woman in his life, like a mother or a girlfriend. But I believe that she knew that it was at a state that he needed help. And she may have been trying to get him help with this Wheel of Fortune to help him to change and move forward. It just didn't happen, unfortunately, before he passed. Here's the Five of Cups. Interestingly enough, look, you still have a person. I didn't even think about that with this deck because I'm still it's still relatively new to me. But look, it's interesting. We're getting shown here a singer, a front man, and there is loss. I feel like he feels he didn't get the help that he needed with that Five of Cups there, falling under that Six of Pentacles. There was just something emotionally that needed healing in him. And that felt empty. I also definitely believe that this Five of Cups is saying he is so regretful that his life ended before it really began. And now he's got to accept that and, do what he can with the Two of Cups that he still has. The Three of Swords. This is the illness of addiction. Hey, emotionally, this man, also young man, I think bottled a lot up inside, but very sensitive with that Cancer moon and a Scorpio sun, extremely. Bless his heart. I think, yes, that's the tune of the Ice Cream Man. I wish I could corner him. Anyway, the Eight of Cups, this is having to abandon or move on. And it shows this doorway. Interesting. I really love this deck. That, like, as if they are going to another, almost like another dimension. And I feel that in this case, falling under the Wheel of Fortune, that Eight of Cups is talking about the fact that since he didn't get the help he needed, he ended up it ended up catching up to him and ultimately causing his demise. There was a real illness here with that Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups, and it dealt with abandonment. He was a very sad individual, but I see this one woman around here was trying, I think, to maybe help him change. The Eight of Wands is falling under her as the Queen of Pentacles, who's next to the Wheel of Fortune. And down here with that Eight of Cups and that Eight of Wands, energetically, and this just to me across just feels like the grief at the loss of what occurred. I think a window popped open, and unfortunately for him, with the choices he was making, it happened, I feel like, again. And I'm getting that this is not the first life, like again, where that he was in the entertainment business and some degree of trying to deal with addiction. There is real regret that he had to leave before he got, started. He didn't want to. But it was too late at that point, Now, this female has this swift-moving card, and I just feel like her eyes were on him. And she was definitely trying, I think, in his corner, trying to urge him to change, to get out of this false kind of reality of not the negative aspect that can happen in fame and the hangers-on and the partying and how fame changes. So I feel like this woman, adult woman, I feel like she's older and older than him. At least mentally so. There's a maturity here where she was, I believe, someone trying to help him with this, and knew of his sadness. He was very insecure with that Five of Cups, despite the, I believe, Six of Pentacles here, where he looks confident performing. He still needed help. And I think it comes from he's saying it's deep-seated insecurity that he self-medicated. So when he performed, he felt confident, but it was affecting his health. He was trying to numb a lot of emotional pain, losses in his life that he could do nothing about. And in particular in connection to abandonment. Feeling like he had an issue with abandonment. The Star, here we are talking about fame. We're talking also about hope and healing. This shows me that vertically he is now in a place of healing. Like, I'm getting like a special realm for healing when you cross over. And he's processing. I feel like he was really angry with himself at first. Three of Cups. He falling under that Three of Swords, that's really interesting. The Hanged Man. Falling under the Eight of Cups. This hang up with abandonment. And a different perspective now. Also, perspective is everything. The Ten of Wands. Under the Eight of Wands. It feels to me like this feminine energy here, this Queen of Pentacles, was trying to rush because she knew, I think, that the Ten of Wands, that it was becoming too heavy for him to handle. I think the fame issue brought up a lot more of his insecurities, and perhaps he was medicating himself more. And this, I just feel like this adult female, I don't know whether she's a mom or an auntie, a sister, but I definitely feel like she might be a bit older than him. If she's a lover, then maybe she's just more mentally mature. It does indicate with the Queen an adult female, so that's anyone 21 up that is mature. Again, that's the Ice Cream Man. Consider yourselves lucky. Got a little music today in the background. So this life was learning to deal with the abandonment issues. And I think to see it from a different perspective, he wasn't able to see that shift in perspective until he had passed over here. And I feel that I meant to say with this Three of Cups, with the Star, the Three of Cups, the Hangman, the Ten of Wands, he's letting us know that he just couldn't break out of this mode that came with his fame of partying. He liked to party. And the problem is that he was using these drugs, harder drugs, to try to kill the pain of an old wound. And to me, it was a wound of self-confidence that he actually had. So he was actually quite insecure, I'm getting. And I don't know if his parents were divorced or not. This, I'm getting kind of a sense of, is this connected to a divorce and abandonment? And as a child, this was really painful. I feel like there's some story there, perhaps. Again, I'm admitting I do not know. I'm just reading him intuitively and traditionally with the symbols of these cards. I think he sought, I don't think he liked being alone. And so he sought to numb himself and be around people that liked, I think, to party. But I'm getting that a lot of these people that were around him because of the star, were around him because he was famous. And these are not the best types, because they'll encourage you in order to stay within this circle. And I'm feeling like there were people that he was associating with that weren't good for him. Yeah. That he should have walked away from. And he just was going back into that old pattern, I think, that he has had in other lifetimes, where the pressure here of fame, it's all just so much, overwhelming. And he didn't know how to deal with it. Because deep down inside, he needed to work on his abandonment issues and his issues of esteem. It shows here, and his sense of self-worth. I feel like there was deep down a sense that he wasn't worthy of all of this. I'm going to draw a couple extra cards. The Four of Wands, these are the fans. And the public, and the Nine of Cups. It shows that he really enjoyed performing. He got a lot of pleasure out of that. And I believe that the attention that he received with performing also was very pleasing to him. He really enjoyed doing that. He treasured it. It's like a dream come true. And he was just on the rise, and I can see why he would be angry. I can see why he would be upset and so disappointed that he accidentally overdosed. And this Nine of Cups does also speak to kind of the party scene again. But I feel like he's glad that he had the fun that he did. He regrets that he overdosed, and I don't think he quite had perspective. Again, and we go back to that hangman, when you're young, it's very hard to have perspective. Heck, even when you're older sometimes, and we need to bounce stuff off of people. But it shows that he was in some kind of, he just wasn't able to see it. And change it. And it caught up with him. And he had to abandon his body, his life, everything. There's something here though, again, a change and around this Queen of Pentacles. And it feels like, again, I feel like she's pushing something, and maybe it felt oppressive to him. Maybe this was someone that was trying to get him to change. In some way. And he was just sad here that this happened. It's like I worked so hard to get to that opportunity, and I get the opportunity, and I don't end up getting to really grow and explore that. So, you know, he enjoyed performing. He felt, you know, he felt validated by the crowd. And here we have the Knight of Pentacles and Death. But I feel that this deals usually with just work, and I don't know what his schedule had been like, but it looks like there's a sense of burnout, that he was at one point, that because I'm getting the shows here, and I'm seeing also the feeling that working hard, doing a lot of shows, there's a lot of drink around and people partying, and he was enjoying it, but it also led to his death. It also led to radical changes. It ended the work that he had been doing to get there. The Lovers. And the Ten of Pentacles. The Sun and the King of Swords. This could be his father, this King of Swords. I'm getting the family vibe off the Ten of Pentacles here, and the Lovers means closeness to me, or bonds in this case, not there's clarity. Something maybe, I don't know, did he have a father that passed? Or if not, there's something that he certainly understands better now with the Sun on that King of Swords. That's much more clear to him regarding his family, and I think the family dynamics, maybe the relationship of various bonds, and maybe to do with his own issue when it came to having him a private romantic relationship. I think there was some dysfunction or something that was relevant, a pattern in the family, in his family. And there's clarity regarding a King of Swords. Here's Strength in the Tower. And to me, this is about when you don't curb energy that is running amok. Like say this lion wasn't calmed and helped. Again, that goes back to that Six of Pentacles, and my feeling that he really needed, the question would be, would he have accepted it or been interested? I don't know. But he just wasn't strong enough to not just give over to his more prime or base energy. You know, the difference is that if you do not moderate yourself, you'll destroy yourself. And it can happen suddenly and unexpectedly, just like what did with him. He had been taking some Valium. I don't know what else he had been doing, but that Valium was not, or no, I'm sorry, I think it was Xanax, but it was not proper Xanax. It had been cut with fentanyl. And many of these bars of Xanax that people buy on the street, as I said, are cut with other things that make them lethal. So it's kind of a deal of having to learn also that strength is moderating yourself. Strength isn't how hard can I party. It's more about mindfulness and maturity. And he just wasn't ready for it. I feel like this is showing him transitioning after the sudden death. And that fentanyl, interestingly enough, there's a heart too here. I feel like slowing his heart rate down, his brain activity. And he's seeking, you know, yeah, he was leaving the confinement, I think, of the lifestyle and his body. Because, like I said, he kind of gotten himself into a corner there. I feel like there are two women here that I'm being shown, and I believe either good friends or girlfriends. There's a Queen of Cups and there's a Queen of Wands, and there is the Two of Wands, which talks about definitely, I think, a sexual attraction, or maybe these were a couple of women he may have been dating. I'm not sure why I'm being shown this. Magician and the Page of Swords. Well, they may not have known much about each other. I get a feeling there is a little bit of a player here, and had a roving eye. Page of Pentacles. And Temperance. I just, again, a matter of maturity. And that he was just beginning to grow and to, I think, become an adult, learning how to do that. There were things definitely that needed balancing in his life, and we're looking at the Page of Pentacles, and that has something to do with the work most definitely an actual, I think his access He just needed to be able to grow up, is what he's saying. So I think there was something he had with two females here, and, you know, his fans might know better about that. I feel like he may have strung them along. I think he really did like them. I just don't think he wanted to have to just, you know, be forthright. There's some kind of fighting that was going on, though. It just was carrying on. That Eight of Pentacles. And that Five of Wands. There's some kind of conflict that was growing. The World. And the Five of Swords. I think it was... we're getting somebody... I believe that there may have been an unhealthy relationship or relationships. I don't know if he picked abusive type of females, maybe. And again, this is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I'm not sure. But it looks to me like we're dealing with loss for sure, but there's this kind of loss has a humiliation aspect, and I've just been shown a card of argumentative, conflictual energy, and one that is about one's work. Who was he fighting with about his work? There may have been some kind of back and forth going on. And I do feel that drugs, that there was also, okay, with the Seven of Cups, there is the drug element, but there's also something about more than one way. There's just making a choice, being more open-minded. And the Knight of Wands is wanting to pursue different things, more variety. He wanted to pursue more variety, and maybe that caused a falling out with regard to his work. Empress and the King of Pentacles. That could be the Mother card, and I don't know, the King of Pentacles, maybe somebody if it's not his mom, I'm thinking it could because of this conflict of interest of where he felt like again he was being forced or confined and wanting to expand instead of just play a certain, you know, or perform or sing a certain way. He wanted freedom to be the artist he was, and I'm seeing that there was a great deal of oppression on him about that, and had to do with money, people wanting to make money and didn't really value what he wanted to do creatively. That was very hard for him. And I think they really, really pressured him to do a certain style or only a certain way. It feels like they were trying to constrict him and confine him to a certain little box because they wanted to earn some money. Maybe this is a manager. I'm not sure that King of Pentacles, that would make sense to me with the Empress. there are certain secrets here with the High Priestess that aren't known, that are very, I think, could come spilling out. And it has to do with his death. There's something very, I don't know. There's a peace, though, this brings. It could be a woman that I feel like that Queen of Swords may take some of his music or finish it or produce it. If there's any bits of work that, tracks and things like that, it could be something like someone mixing, finishing, and this to me would be the emotive response of people going, "Ah," and there's certain peace that this provides. This shows a lot of anxiety about not where you do something like, is this going to be against the rules? Am I going to get in trouble for this? Where you color outside of the box. There's worry over that, though, for her. But the Chariot, I see success, and the Emperor. So, Johnny Cash is on that one. So he's telling me, I think that there's some unfinished work that might be lying around that I think a female will be interested in, I don't know, releasing in some way. There's a very pleasing kind of, but people just love it, is what I do get. There's a real emotional reaction, and the Chariot and the Emperor. And it's somehow that when she does this, I think for him, he's really satisfied and feels like it clears the way for him to see himself with more self-confidence as that Emperor and the Chariot, which is something that he'll be able to do with this, whatever this is, this woman shares. It's in alignment with something that he wants from his place of spirit. And it's, again, it moves him up a notch. It moves him into, I think, into the proper, healthy perception of who he is. He's still sorting that out. Yeah, he goes reflective and is inspired. So he's healing on the other side. And I believe, if any of this, I don't know him. So if you want to fill me in on those of you that do know him, if any of this makes certain sense, please just, you know what to do. Leave it in the comments. And if you like my content, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when a video drops, you're going to know. Okay? I'll see you in the next video. Take care.